Hello, I'm Mesringer, and today I'm going to talk about why we are not making videos. And basically, the reason is that I am working on, in the university, and I'm just overloaded as fuck. And mainly because I am writing my thesis right now, um, and simultaneously doing multiple things. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of time and effort, and unfortunately, I cannot work on the thing that is mainly the topic of the channel. We can talk about like shifting gears, as you can see from the. I didn't change the whatever the banner, whatever. It's not banner, but like the theme, because for this period we have been, I have been working on the um, contact process, and now I have shifted uh, and ditched the contact and started to work on a different project. I have already started to work on it in July, I think, so it's not a new thing. But I thought it was going to be a part of the contact process, which actually is, and it could be used in there. But I have always wanted to go to and towards a more sustainable future with the SAFs, sustainable aircraft fuels or aviation fuels, whatever you want to call them. But those are not only for aircrafts; those are like diesel that can be used in cars or in power plants or whatever. The main part was that I wanted to get into emissions and emission cleaning, that basically the cleaning of gases and the cleaning of gases and moving towards making fuels, sustainable aviation fuels or other alternative fuels, which is going to be the theme from this point onward. Because I was thinking about whether the contact and the Oswald is necessary for me to move on to this, and I I thought for a while, but it's not. I would learn so much more from actually doing these than trying to do something first. It's kind of like pointless at this point, and I might be. Um, um, I don't know. Might not. People might not like this direction, or might like it better. Whatever. Maybe I will get more views, but the this is what I wanted to do eventually, and I thought to myself, well, why do I not do it right now? Because it will take 2 to 5 years, maybe even more, maybe 10 years to make this actually like fruition, and not just like, yeah, I will make the first prototype in 10 years. I will make the first prototype in probably 1 or 1.5 years, but meaning that I will make first. If you really want to look into my like plan, is that I am working on the oil burner or the oil gun, as I call it, and I'm working on in my very little spare time that I have. I'm working on a motor controlling board, which is this. I'm just going to upgrade it to a bigger one. This is like a MOSFET based motor controller that is going to be used. And it's not just a simple, it is technically a simple motor controller, but I have looked more into the safety and long-term design, that I place safety features onto the boards so that it doesn't go out of service before its intended time, because there is like back EMF and all this shit. We will talk about this in a upcoming video about the motor controller. But I'm going to make first the basically these motor controller things, and I'm going to automate the oil burner, the oil gun, and then when that is done, we're going to move on to building a boiler. Then from then on, we are going to make the boiler, which is going to be a simple boiler using the oil gun, and I have already started the fire how do you say this, the refractory. The refractories, we will go back to that, because I have already made the freight, and that is not useful. But the other thing is the what was it called? I don't know the name. Whatever. I have made clay, and I already have bought the alumina, which is a big 25 kilo bag that I can use as a source of alumina for the refractories, and we will build the boiler, and it's not going to be a full boiler, but then from the boiler we are going to make a pyrolysis plant, which is going to be an add-on to the boiler, and it is going to be used by the boiler's heat production. The plan is that I will use the boiler as a source of heat in the beginning, in the initial startup, and then when it is done, basically I am hesitating for now, but probably in the future I will be able to make tar oil, which is just coming from biochar, or like the bio waste. I don't know what, the material that we burn in the pyrolysis chamber. The pyrolysis chamber has like beneficial like side products that can be utilized, in this instance tar and bio what is that, tar oil, and these oily stuff that are kind of like paraffinic waxes, all this shit that will stay in the bottom. I can use that and heat it up in the oil gun, because I have basically designed this to be a oil burner, and these can be used to initially start up and to thin the thing up. But I think that can be also used, because as with heat it will heat, like the viscosity will drop, and then it will be able to like nicely atomize and burn. So then when that is done, the pyrolysis chamber works, we can produce our biochar and our bio bullshit products, these side streams. Then we can move on to the FT, which is the Fischer-Tropsch build, which is going to be a chamber next to the pyrolysis and the boiler. It is going to feed off from the pyrolysis chamber, basically the pyrolysis gas, which is syngas, going to be made via steam, or with steam. Basically it is called the steam, I think steam, not reforming, I don't know what they call it, steam whatever. It's kind of like pyrolysis, but pyrolysis is that you use like 400-500 degrees Celsius exhaust gas from a burning flame. The exhaust gas doesn't have too much oxygen. Basically you starve the burning, but you provide it enough heat that these like wood and these like biomass products oxidize down into charcoal and provide you with the syngas and all the other streams of products. But there is an alternative way which doesn't utilize this gas, but rather a higher temperature steam, which is kind of hot. It's 750-950 degrees Celsius, but this steam does come with a better side effect, that the steam of this will react with the char as well as with the tar to break it down, and then it will crack the tar, and it will be a richer syngas, because one, the tar will break down and you will have more hydrocarbons from the tar that will be carried over to the Fischer-Tropsch like production boil whatever facility, so to speak. And the other part is that the charcoal bed, which is kind of hot, that will react with CO from the already burnt gas. I mean, basically we will use steam, and I think I will use another, I think it was going to be, I just planned it, so I do not know the exact things, but whatever, we are going to use the syngas to make to feed the Fischer-Tropsch, and we are going to use this other alternative method, which is I don't know what the name is, whatever. And that is going to be the project for now, which is going to take up a long time, but I do not mind it, because this is what I like this topic. I really love this train, and I will have to think about that. And as you can see, there is like a bit of knowledge gap in here, that I do not know exactly how the whole thing is going to work out, but I'm going to make it work out. And maybe we'll have to adjust some parameters and tweak up some things and change up the design, because yeah, I cannot break the laws of physics, but I can find out different ways to make it work, as I usually do. And then we will, I mean, this will take up quite a long time, but I think this is going to be a good recap for what I'm doing right now. I mean, we are at the university, if you're just curious. We are at the university, we are designing a system. It is a rake. We are measuring jet engines emissions, or we are basically like prepping for an upcoming project with the local fuel company, that we are going to test sustainable aviation fuels in blends with jet engine, like regular Jet A1 kerosene, to see the effects on the performance of the engine as well as the emission values. And I am guessing that they are doing this because they don't just want to see that, yeah, this does this, but they want to see different types of fuel blends to basically they want to mix up the blend so that it is like approximately close to kerosene. Because if you just a side point here, that they don't want to swap out the already used engines or jet engines right now, because they are optimized for kerosene, they are optimized for jet A1. And if they were to swap the fuel from those to like H2, so to hydrogen, or to LNG, which is liquid natural gas, you would need a lot of infrastructure, and you would need to also call back the existing and already running aircrafts to then review and then make, like, first you will need to make their engines, their already existing engines, you need to take them out and not even retrofit, but like change them design wise totally, and with the planes as well, because you just cannot just like retrofit it with a little thing to be able to run on hydrogen, because you need to add cryogenic tanks, you need a cooling system, you need a lot of shit onto the aircraft itself as well. So it's not easy, as well as it would take too much. So to skip that, they would like to blend, they would like to make the sustainable aircraft aviation fuels, whatever, be exactly as the already used kerosene, so that they just can make that and then they just put it in. But there's as well, like, it doesn't behave as exactly as kero, because it is different in composition, so they will have to blend it out. I mean, probably not manually, but with something, maybe a program, whatever, so that they can they can blend it out, and they can create the exact or something similar formula as like a regular petrochemical fossil fuel would be, in terms of emissions and in terms of performance. And then if that is done, then they can use it as like a drop-in fuel instead of like kero, when they get the sustainable aircraft fuels regulation, to use it as 100% substitution liquid or fuel for the Jet A1 that is regularly used. So yeah, I am designing the measuring device for that, so that we can test the emission values, because you need to measure the emission values. If you were to imagine the plume of the exhaust, the nozzle of the exhaust, you cannot just measure it at one point, because that would result to basically non-usable data. You would need to create a system that has multiple probes on multiple points on the same diameter and the same distance from the engine, and then you would need to equalize out the flows so that you can get a non-biased mixing of the flows in terms of emission values, pressures, flow rates, and temperature as well, to be able to reliably and unbiasedly, I don't know what the, I don't know what the, whatever. So you don't get an like you get an unbiased reading of the emission values, and I'm making the device for that, which is like a rig, whatever. So I'm doing that and doing a lot of things at the side. Like basically, I'm making designing that and writing my thesis at the same time, as well as I need to write the papers for the, like you know, like conferences bullshit. It's the same thing on basically on the great design, but it takes a long time still. So I'm working on that, which is kind of what I'm into anyways, but like it takes up a long time, and that's why I cannot make these videos, and that's why I cannot progress on this shit. But as you can see, I have still made some progress with this, even though I have no fucking clue about what I'm doing in electronics. But still, I do not give a fuck. I will try my best, and I will do what is required. That's the thing of this current season, that I will do what is required and survive. Because I am just the product of the struggle at the end, but then I'm stronger than I was. So this is what I will end this video with. One last note that is from Hormozy as well. I mean, of course, which is, you cannot wish for an easy life and a great character, because one is the price of the other. So that's it. Do that work, especially when you don't feel like it.